Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to my first vlog for 2023. I wanted to start by showing you my garlic cloves. They are growing. They were just little cloves that had like a little bit of green at the top, and I had put them in water. They are thirsty. I add water every morning, and then the next morning when I see them again, all the water is gone. So I think it's time to transfer them to pots with soil in them. But I'm so excited that they grew so much. How exciting. Today I have actually quite a bit to say. That's why I have made notes so I didn't miss anything. I'm just trying to be organized. It's the beginning of the year. Organization is on my mind. And in that spirit, I just made a note of the things that I wanted to say. So this year, I am making an effort to keep a bullet journal. Just to keep better track of things. In the past, my enthusiasm for bullet journaling fizzled very fast. But somehow I feel the need to keep returning to it, even though I am yet to have a full year worth of bullet journaling. I mean, it's not like I'm not making lists and stuff all over the place, but it would take a little more discipline to keep it contained in one space. And I think that is going to be valuable. So this is my bullet journal, and I'm making my own out of the same sketchbook that you see me using every month throughout 2022. And this is my January. And people do mood trackers, food trackers, health trackers, and all that. I did a creativity tracker. Like, how many days of the month have I been creative in some way? It may not always be, pen and paper. Mostly pen and paper in my case. That's just how it ends up. And this is and it's super simple, just drew my January, and that is all that has been accomplished so far. And once January comes to close, I might have like a page or a spread where I kind of summarize, say what books I read, any outstanding opportunities, any outstanding anything for that matter, just for keeping it in one place. So that is enough about that. And I have reorganized my studio. There are still things to put away. I have moved shelves around, like shelves that were downstairs. I am kind of reorganizing and remapping the entire space to make it more efficient. And it's an ongoing process. It's when you make stuff the way I do, you do end up with a lot of clutter, and unless you are very, very on top of it, it takes over your life and those of other people around you. So I keep on organizing. So if I have designated bins to put them away, then all my sketchbook, planner, journal, I'm not all hogging my entire table. And then when I come to film something, say film a reel for Instagram, or just to sit and make something, I don't have to waste the time cleaning up, and also avoid the frustration. I mean, these are everybody's thing, but I'm kind of trying to put this in my vlog. So if I wanted to look back and just see why I was doing what I was doing, I would have that in like sort of documented. And what else am I doing? Especially, a lot of the time, not only related to my artwork, but household paperwork, bills, this, that come in, and then they get tossed into either a folder or a bin or something, and then the bin falls short of all the incoming papers. And unless And it is always like, yeah, I'm going to revisit that another day. So for me, that another day is now. And yes, I am still kind of putting away things from last year, because not everything, things that were held in the mail that are still arriving, they're just getting, that 2022 is not complete in terms of filing paperwork, so to speak. And then today, my littlest and I have plans this afternoon to watch a movie. So I picked the movie this time, and I picked Lorax, because this is like a Dr. Seuss, the way he says such big things in such a relatable way. Yeah, everybody knows how wonderful he is. But yeah, this is one of my favorite movies, and this is what we are watching this afternoon. And she wanted to actually make some mixed media art on a proper canvas. Like, I have canvas in which like these are a couple that I am working on right now, and they are in various stages of completion, and I'm using panels. So she felt like she also wants to do something like that, because when she watches me do it, she said, oh, I like that, I want to do that. And I'm like, that's how we all get into these things, just watching someone do something very passionately. And it doesn't even have to be, painting, making mixed media art. It's anything. If I see somebody cooking, like on YouTube, and I am so like, oh, that was like, that is an experience I want to have for myself, and I would do it my way, of course. But yeah, so I want to encourage that in her, that she's taking interest in art, and that this would be something, a shared memory for both of us. And this is a bigger thing, so to say, because I have been thinking about just being and doing nothing for quite some time, and that has never really worked for me. And when I pondered why that is so, the simple truth is that doing nothing makes me feel very uncomfortable. And when I later returned to doing the work that I just put on hold, I feel I had wasted precious time, and I feel guilty. So for me to get any benefit from doing nothing, I think, and this is just what I'm finding is work for me. It may not be for anybody else, but for me, the way it is working is, if I restrict this doing nothing, absolutely nothing, just sitting quietly, I would have to restrict it to micro moments in my day. And even for me to enjoy that, I would need to simplify my life. At present, the only change that has happened is in my awareness, and it is yet to be translated into action or non-action. And simplifying isn't simple when I don't yet have a mindset shift where I can, Marie Kondo myself and my life and start fresh. It's, even if I can just, not do nothing, but even if I can reduce my frenzied multitasking, like even if I do one thing at a time, I think that would be an improvement from where I am right now. And so, and I'm trying not to be, upset with myself, and just allowing myself to make small conscious choices. And I'm feeling that, over time, very gradually, slowly, these little actions, this little shifts in my mindset, my mindset, it sounds like a tongue twister, would eventually, gradually transform my life's landscape. And this year, I am thinking that I want to focus on workbooks. Workbooks meaning when I read a book, that's great. I remember some of the message and let go of the rest, and the way I feel probably everybody does. But a lot of good books, they come with their own workbook versions. And this year, I'm thinking that I might end up reading fewer books, but if a book speaks to me and if it has a workbook, maybe I want to do the exercises. And let me see if that would shift something that is buried deeper in me. Yeah. So yeah, I right now this is the book that I started. I actually read the book, and listened to the audiobook, and then I got the workbook from the library, and I'm working in my notebook, the journaling part of whatever it is I'm thinking, just to give the issues that I face or the realities of my life a name. That this is what is happening. I am not closing my eyes to it because it is a potentially difficult situation or historically difficult situation, but I am going to just look at what it is and then eventually may be able to find a way through it with various degrees of disruption, I would assume. Setting boundaries has been a big issue for me. I never learned to set boundaries. I have never had role models who set boundaries. In fact, growing up, setting boundaries was almost like being disloyal, was seen as being unkind. And you first, me last, that was the culture, my family's culture that I grew up in. And that, I see the flaws of that now. And while I cannot go back and change my upbringing, where these things would not feel so uncomfortable, had that been how I was taught when I was little, it would be different. I wouldn't have to put this mammoth of an effort to just say no, a simple no, because I would feel guilty and feel terrible for having turned someone down for something. And if I go, I would probably resent having to go. And if I don't go, then I'll feel guilty for not going. So it's not comfortable from any angle. Like I feel I cannot keep saying yes, but saying no is also very, very hard. And I think many of you can relate to what I'm saying. So yeah, and even as a parent, I'm thinking like I wish my parents were raised differently, raised me differently. And now looking at it from my children's point of view, or me as a parent point of view, I feel that I have not succeeded in doing that for my children either, because they never, I can tell somebody, if somebody bullies you, you stand up to that. Or if somebody is asking you for something that's unfair, you say no to that. But they never saw me model that, ever. So it's kind of confusing. So what do I do? What mom's doing or what mom's saying? So I have to translate a lot of this awareness that's coming to me into action as well. So, at least they can see that even if it is hard, I feel it's really worth it. Hence, I am also putting sometimes friendships on the lines, relationships on the line, and that it is worth it at the end of the day for my own sanity, for my own well-being, health. And sometimes, just being true to myself. I don't want to do it. That's all. I want to be your friend, but I don't want to do it. Or not do it at this time. And if that makes you want to walk away from me, maybe we were never, our friendship is complete, Yeah. So this year's goal would be to work on some workbooks and see if that makes a bigger difference than reading the book itself. And I can imagine, like, if I would have read 20 books in a year, this year I might, if I really honestly want to work on a workbook, I might not get past, like, my target would be to complete 4 of those, maybe 5 if I'm being extremely ambitious. And if I do not find 5 books to work on, or if I do not make it through all of the ones that I'm thinking, I'm going to be okay. I'm working on this, and however far I get with it, and of course I don't need all of the exercises. I don't think anybody needs all of the exercises, but just the ones that are my challenges. Even if I do that, and even if I just finish one, or however far I get, as long as the purpose of it, not to check boxes of at the end of the year, oh yes, I did 5 as I had thought I would, but more like, did I do this, did I apply this, did it make a difference, is it something worth doing for me personally? So that, and yeah, I am lowering. What I'm finding is, if I have to raise my standards, I have to lower my expectations. I know that sounds so odd, but I do not know how else to put it in words. Like, if I want to do something well, I cannot do 100 things at the same time. Just that same thing, prioritizing, not multitasking as crazily as I typically do. And sometimes taking those micro moments in a day just for a minute, maybe to take a few deep breaths, maybe to just close my eyes, and maybe to just not immediately by default go to social media and scroll, and just taking that moment. However it plays out, I'm going to probably keep on updating you as to what I'm doing, what's working for me and what's not. But I think we all struggle with various things, and just being quiet and silent, even if it's for small moments, it could be helpful. So that, and I am extremely excited to say that I have finished my first art journal for 2023. It's for a class I'm teaching, and so I cannot really flip through the thing yet. But I love how it turned out, how I was able to say everything I wanted to say in the art journal, and I'm satisfied with how it is. And I feel like if I have finished a whole art journal, it's not big or fat or anything, but even then, it gives me that satisfaction of completion. And with every successful completion, there comes a confidence boost, an encouragement, inner encouragement, where you're like, yes, I can do something. I may not finish everything, but I finished something that I enjoyed, that is valuable to me. And it is hopefully going to be valuable for the people who are going to be in that class. And one goal I have for this week is to, finish kind of reorganizing my studio, at least for January. And then to update my personal work portfolio on my website, because I did it like early last year or something. And I think I have newer work, newer paintings. I had many more shows to add to those. Like, these are the kinds of work I'm exploring at the moment, or these are the work that I like from the work that I did in the past, and something like that. I see a lot of artists, they put everything they make onto that, and probably that's a good idea because it keeps your portfolio populated. I, being a little more perfectionistic, get very hung up over what is worth showing, so yeah, that becomes then a head game. It's an overthinking mode, and it's useless, but can't change it in one day. Trying. So having said that, I think that is my vlog for this week. And also, I bought a new camera. It's not a new camera, it's actually a used camera. It was still quite expensive, but I'm hoping to, have a setup where I can sometimes speak to the camera. I know I can't see anybody. I know I have friends who do watch my videos and they tell me that they did. But you know, I think that would be a little more helpful in connecting with the person rather than just with hands. I have to set that up. I have to still figure out the settings and stuff that would be workable in the space that I have. It took me some time to have this set up with the window, with the light and everything. And in time, it will hopefully be done. But those are my updates from this week. I hope you have a great week, starting the 9th of January 2023. And if I have something meaningful unfolding during this time, or thoughts that come to me, that would be in my next vlog. So enjoy your Sunday. Bye for now.